body, speech, and mind held in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow.
Good morning, my dear brothers, sisters, and friends. Welcome to our weekly Sunday public service. Today is February 26, 2017. We are having our weekly service, and now we will have a short time to share briefly about something related to our daily practice or Buddhism. As you can see that today in the main hall on the Buddha's altar, we light up the candles, and the chanting is not as usual that we used to chant on Sunday. And this is the time that we celebrate or we chanting the medicine Buddha. In the Buddhist practice, not only you believe in something like a Buddha who has enough power to give us or blessing us, but if we want to be blessed, we must do something in order to make our wish become true. Lighting up the candles is symbolized for lighting up the understanding. Every time when we talk about medicine, we are thinking about the capacity of healing. So when we are sick, we are looking for medication. When our physical body is not well, we used to looking for something that able to treat, to heal our physical sickness. But the physical sicknesses also need medication, and also the mentally sickness also need medication. The practicing here is not only we wait until we die so we can go to some paradise, but what do we do during we still alive? So Buddhism, you can see that when you go to temple, you think, oh, when I have my mother's passed away, my father passed away, or somebody passed away, then we go to temple. It's not enough. Buddhism offers you the way to live, the way to practice in such a way that you can heal yourself and you can liberate yourself from suffering. You free from suffering, and you try to suffer less yourself and your loved one. And this is the main thing about Buddhism. Buddhism is not only a practice that we pray for the death, but we do nothing for the living being. But we want to be happy. We all want to be happy. We always want to be to enjoy things. But how do we recognize our pleasure, our fortunate? If we do not recognize that, then how can we live happily and mindfully? So light up the candles is symbolized for light up your understanding. You want to heal yourself, you want to heal your loved one, you must understand what can you help, how can you help, and why this person needs help. So not only just help, but we also understand how, what, when, who, in order to give them the right treatment, the right healing, the right help. Buddhism, the teachings of the Buddha, just like medications. You have to understand all different type of medications in order to give someone the right medicine, in order to help them to heal the sickness. So in Buddhism, when you talk about medicine Buddha, that means you talk about the intent that you want to help someone, not only physically, but mentally. And you can see that right in our society right now. Mentally sickness take more percentage than physical sickness. And the physical sickness related to the mentally sickness, because your mind and your body is only one, even though they are in two separate names, but they related. If the body is not well, the mind also not well. So once you're happy, you can eat anything, you can sit anywhere, you can do anything. But when you are not happy, you don't want to go anywhere, you don't want to enjoy anything. Even right in front of you, there's a whole bunch of good food, but you have no taste, because in you, the suffering, the depressing already take places. It sunk you down and you cannot move on, you cannot enjoy anything. Even you try to cover your difficulty, you try to cover just your suffering, you try to go to the casino, to the bar, to the club, to some place, so you can forget. The reality is you are in the difficult time. You are in depressing. You just try to recover something, but you do not try to treat the root of it. And the chanting, what do we need about the chanting? The understanding. The Buddha will show us why it's happened. Why it's happened. And if you want to change this, what do you do? Exactly when you go to school, if you make your answer wrong, you need to go back to see your teacher, and your teacher will show you why it's wrong. Or you need to read back carefully about the question. And then you can find, oh, because I did not read this part correctly or mindfully. If you lose your intention, attention, something may be loose. For example, if you go to the parking meter, and the parking meter will say that they only take luni. You didn't read it. You just see a meter, you just take out your quarter, you put in. No matter how many quarters you put in, they just swallow it, but doesn't work anything. So you realize what happened. You read carefully, and now you realize it's only take a luni. So just a second or minute of forgetfulness, we may lose something. Same thing. When we have the anger, the temper, we lose our control. We lose our taming. We may say something wrong. We may say something is not necessary for us, or we should speak to that person. But after we spoke, the words come out of our mouth. We cannot take it back. So the candle helps us the understanding. Each of your words is a medication. Each of your action is a medication. Sometimes you may destroy your happiness just by a single word. You may damage years of communication just because of one tiny action. You may lose everything. Every time when you sign a contract, make sure you read carefully. So you read carefully the contract before you sign. The same as you reflect carefully on something in our daily life before we speak, before we act. That we used to cause problem in three ways: the way we think, the way we act, and the way we talk. But you also can cause happiness. You can create more happiness on three ways: the way you think, the way you speak, the way you act. So what is the teachings of the Buddha offer us? The light to shine carefully. So we all need to light up the light of understanding in order to give the true love. We need love. We need someone to love us. And they also need the love from us. Love is one of the nutrition. Without love, life is not possible. But how do we love? Is the point. We all want to cook, but we need to know how to cook. We always want to make us look nice, but you must learn a little bit the art of cosmetic. Otherwise, you don't know how to make you look beautiful. Even us, we shave hair, but we must learn the art of shaving so we don't cut ourselves. When we talk about shaving, it means, you try to, make yourself ugly. Still, we want to be nice. So after we shave, we must use a hand to check around whether it's all shaved. If not, it look not nice. So life is an art. Everything is an art. Even, arrange the flower. Arrange this main hall. When you step in, you feel space, you feel something. According to people who decorate the hall, clean the hall. So why not? Why not? Why we cannot arrange something before we talk, before we act, before we come to each other? Why don't we save the situation before it's happened? We always, want to save the situation after it happened. This is the problem. So the teachings of the Buddha show us what is the problem. So if we see that clearly, we stop doing it. That's why we need meditation. Because the word meditation means stop and reflect. You are allowed to talk, but stop, fast react. Fast talking. Try to stop yourself. Just few seconds to reflect. Is this the right word for me to use? In Vietnamese and in Chinese, I think, we always have terms. When can you use? Each term will fit for different type of people. If you talk to a senior, there are words that you use to senior. If you talk to someone, same level as you, there are words for you to use. If you talk to someone lower than you, there are words for you to use. You cannot use only one term for everybody, especially in Vietnamese. Like, if you agree something, But in Vietnamese, that is not the right way, the polite way to respond to someone who is older than you. You must say, yeah, it means yes. Only you agree with your friends. Hey, how are you, my friend? You never allow to call someone else's name if they are older than you. You only call them by bác, uncle, auntie, something like that. Do not call their name. But in English, difference. Hey, Mary, how are you? Even she is 90 years old. But in Vietnamese, no way. So if you know that, you can fit yourself in different kind of traditions. If you understand things like that, you can adapt yourself in any traditions. Why not? So the more we learn, the better for living. If we do not learn anything, nothing we know, and nowhere we can fit. This is what you cause, the result will be like that. You don't learn, you don't know, then you cannot fit. You try to find your match. But we forgot one thing is, do we try to be matched or we only looking for a match? We have more expectation than others then. We try to change ourselves so we can fit in. And the practicing here is to be fair. You ask others to change, you also change. So you both can walk together. Even you just a friend, then if you are a couple, this must be practiced more than. If you don't agree, if you're just a friend, you don't agree each other, you go back to your home. You don't have to see each other. But if you are a couple, where do you go? Maybe upstairs and downstairs. But you still need to meet each other up and down. So if you are a couple, then the learning is more. The trying is more. If you love someone, you will try to correct yourself to make that person happy. We cannot say, this is who am I. So well, if you like me, if you love me, you have to take me. They will try but that way, but remember, we all have limited. If you don't try to please someone by the way you change, how can people recognize your intent to change? Life is not only one side. We need both sides. Things can be happen not only in one person. Let's say that, I live in Edmonton for more than 30 years. And I work in the Buddhist community with the senior master here, like almost 30 years. If we always disagree, then how can we continue to run the Buddhism in Edmonton? Sometimes we don't agree each other, but we know how to find time to sit down and discuss. Master, why you do this? This is what I see about it. Then I have a chance to listen to him why he did it. So the more we sit down, the more we open. The more we open, the more we understanding. The more we understanding, the more things can become successful. This is the truth. Teaching the children is not only a job of a mother or a father. They need both. Because sometimes the child needs the soft of the mother, but they also need the heart of the father. In Vietnamese, we used to express the mother's love is like the sticky rice, very sweet, very soft. But the father's love is like the pine tree, very still, very cold. But in that kind of standing, they always, watching upon of you. So when you come to the temple for some services or some celebrations, they all contain the meaning in there. So if we do not understand, then we don't see it is important. When we talk about medicine, we are talking about something that able to heal something, some sickness. Then each of us, we have the nature of medications. We are able to heal different type of sickness. Depends on how deep, how wide, how far we understand. The doctor who is new graduate never have enough experience than the one who is old in that job. So the longer you be a doctor, the more experiences you have. Sometimes you don't need to read the pulse or to hear the breath. Look at the eyes, you can tell what's happening to them. Same thing. Someday after you back home from work, from school, look at the eyes of your loved one. You can tell he is not well today. He is not happy today. She is not happy today. The way they talk, the way they walk, the way they answer your question, it's already expressed that they are not well, maybe physically or mentally. And if you are a good doctor, you can help that person. Sometimes you don't need to talk much. All you need to do is keep quiet. Support that person by your silence. Because when people have lots of things in them already, they don't like to hear any more noises. The best way to heal them in that moment is keep silence and wait until a good time to ask them what's wrong. And they will tell you what's wrong. Very practical. Buddhism is not only a philosophy. Buddhism is the way to practice. If you want, we all want our last day that we can pass away peacefully. But passing away peacefully is only the final day, the result. But what about our daily? What do? We need to practice peace, happiness, and that is the cause to bring us to the last minute we pass away in peace. The one who slow down and gently solve problems, you can see that show on their face. If the one who always angry, you also can tell. The one who have a very, hot temper, you also can tell. The one who able to taming the anger, you can tell because it show on their face, on their, words, on their daily activities. So today, 2 things that I would like to share with you. Light up your understanding. Give your loved one the true medication. Every single word can be a single pill to help that person to heal the sickness. So make sure you give them the right pills. If you're understanding that way and you don't see that, Buddhism is far away from you. Buddhism is right in front of you. It's not only in the temple. You can meet Buddhism every corner of the universe. If you are on the way, you come to this door, to the temple, or you realize there is some place that is slippery. You realize it, you almost fell. Then you know that somebody come here after, they may fall. Find something to help that place. So the next person won't have the same problem. Buddhism is right there. Every day, I answer a lot of emails from people around the world. I meet people at the temple for spiritual counseling. I learn a lot from their sickness. And the more I learn from them, the more I improve my practice and my sharing. So if you see someone who is in a bad mood, don't hate them. Don't try to run away from them. They really need your help. Same thing. If you're in that kind of situation, you're also looking for the right person to help you. Every morning after Sunday service, we bow 3 bows. And what do we say? In gratitude to our parents who brought us to life. In gratitude to the nations, the government who govern this country, we bow deeply to show our gratitude. You also bow down to show your gratitude to your teachers, to all the supporters along our daily life. Even the air, the sunshine, the weather, every single thing can become the supporting for our daily living. Without the rain, without the snow, we have no water. Without the trees, we have no fresh air. Without the sunshine, nothing can be possible. So we live not only by, you and me, but by many other conditions. Then if we see that we live by many other conditions, then we try to live good to support back to those conditions, to make those conditions become healthier, like the environment. Try to protect this environment as much as we can. You can see right now the global warming become a major warning for all of us. But if we do not know how to protect this. We just, waste things. Sometimes it's not necessary. We still waste like that. We still damage the earth, the planet, the environment like that. This is not the mindful living, not the way to support. So what we cause, we will take back. The more we damage for this environment, the more we will intake back to our body. This is the law. I met a young girl who complained her teacher. And I said, why don't you open your heart and understanding that maybe your teacher have problems in her family, her home. And she cannot, handle, and she cannot understand it's a work or personal thing. That's why that happened. So do not respond back. If you want people to respond you good, try to treat them good. You treat them good, they treat you back good. So thank you for your listening. Thank you for your weekly attending. I hope that you can take your time once a week, that you come to the practicing. If you like meditation and English session, you can come on Friday night. Every Friday night at 6:30, we offer a class for all English speaking. And if you have something you need to talk with the monks, you can arrange the time free of charge. Just kidding, because if you go to counselor, you pay. You come to us, you don't have to pay. And we are here for you. Hope that you can take the teachings of the Buddha and make it become reality in your daily life. Thank you.